You know I have to break down 100 Years of Wonder. Big announcements yesterday about a massive celebration coming to the Disneyland Resort. Let's break down what that's going to mean and look at it with a designer's eye. Hey, Brickey here, breaking down 100 Years of Wonder and all the announcements we learned yesterday about the celebration starting this January 2023 here at Disneyland. Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it, bud. All right, let's talk some Sleeping Beauty Castle for the 100th anniversary. So 100 Years of Wonder, celebrating the Walt Disney Company's 100th anniversary, kicks off Friday, January 27th, 2023, here inside of Disneyland. And even though the announcement was incredibly vague, at D23, we finally have a little bit of more information on what's actually coming to Disneyland and how that's going to transform our little park over the course of probably the next 18 months. The last time we had a park-wide celebration of an anniversary was 2015 when we celebrated the 60th anniversary of Disneyland, the Diamond Celebration. You guys remember the diamonds on top of Sleeping Beauty's castle? I say the diamonds because I don't know if they actually look like diamonds. But if we've learned something, every time a big celebration comes to the park, it leaves behind a souvenir. During the Diamond Celebration, the 60th anniversary, that's when we started to get the projections up and down Main Street, which, as you know, they now have happened during Halloween season with Mickey's Mixed Magic. On nights that they can't do the fireworks, they just do the projections. And last year, during Merriest Nights, the paid After Dark Christmas event, we saw the most amazing holiday projections going up and down Main Street, literally turning it into a little Christmas village at the bottom of a Christmas tree. And I can already tell that the 100 Years of Wonder is going to leave behind two really nice souvenirs. How about a little souvenir? So amazing to get this different bird's eye view up on top of the Omnibus. So good. Just in case you've never rode the Omnibus, let me remind you to please fit it into your next trip. It's all nostalgia, all vibes. One of the best attractions on Main Street, just because you get that different. Oh, missed the step. You just get that different view of the park from being up so much higher than when you're walking down on the sidewalk or riding any of the other Main Street vehicles. So if you studied the concept art like I did, you notice that there's going to be a real big fountain right here in the lagoon that goes around Sleeping Beauty's castle. And another one over here. A second fountain that will live on the other side of the lagoon. So essentially, two fountains on each side of the castle. That is going to be the souvenir that stays. And that I am very, very excited about. Now, a lot of the international castles do have fountains out front of them, and it adds to the nighttime shows. So I don't think this fountain means it's going to be anywhere near like a World of Color type situation, but I guarantee you that it will change its colors and be illuminating throughout the evening, which is just going to add a little bit of extra magic. And the Disney Corporation is claiming this will be their biggest celebration ever. And I think that's bold words, because in the past, they've had some really, really grandiose celebrations. But then again, 100 is kind of the last one for a long time. You don't celebrate 105, 110, 125. Like, you celebrate 100, maybe 150. But the next time that you party, surprise, will be when we're all dead at the 200th anniversary. I mean, I hope one of us is still alive, but those odds are not in your favor, my friends. So by all means, they should go incredibly hard, because, hey, 100 only happens once. And I really, really hope that they blow our minds with going above and beyond. But let's look at this castle overlay, because I feel like other celebrations in the past, I've seen them go harder on decorating castles. Now, platinum is the theme for the 100th celebration, and we're going to see platinum banners all over Sleeping Beauty's castle, which probably also means that we'll see platinum banners going up and down Main Street, as typically, whatever the core celebration is, it's repeated all throughout the park. Now, most of these appear to be actual cloth banners. It looks like the ones that are on the outer edge might actually be sort of that cast resin or plastic that we saw out on Cinderella's castle. And before I hear you complain about them being plastic, the plastic actually looks really good, because they can put inside of the banners and the bunting the exact creases and folds that the artists want to be represented in the castle. However, Cinderella's castle, newsflash, is way, way larger than Sleeping Beauty's castle, because, you know, California real estate versus Florida real estate. So therefore, our castle isn't up so high in the air to where you can fool people with the plastic. So it'll be interesting to see how many of these are fabric and how many of these are actually cast plastic or resin. I'm not exactly sure what it is they use. I just know why they do use it, because it allows them to perfect the way that the bunting hangs. Therefore, the emotional draping, the way that they want the castle to be wrapped up for the 100th celebration. And if it is a mixture of cloth and produced plastic, how different will those look side by side next to each other? One would probably have way more of a platinum vibe than the other. And I'm not sure, would plastic or cloth be able to add on that more shiny effect of being a metal alloy versus either fabric or plastic? You can tell I'm thinking a lot about this. The more I think about it, probably the bunting that you see on the far left and far right will actually be some sort of cast material. And I also believe the really nice bunting across the center of the castle, where we all walk through, I feel like that needs to be a cast material, because there's going to be the 100th shield or crest there in the middle, as well as the fairies flying around, adding that little bit of Disney magic. And you know me, I love that Disney magic.
Pretty weak. Do a double leg.
So when we compare these decorations to castle decorations of the past, a little on the conservative side. The diamond celebration was definitely way, way more aggressive than what we're seeing here, with those diamond spires on top of all of the different spires of the castle. Also, they completely repainted Cinderella's castle out at Walt Disney World to do the celebration for the 50th. And I believe we all remember the Cinderella candy castle from the 25th anniversary. That one was pretty wild. But when we explore the concept art, you see there's a lot of basic banners waving from the top of the spires of the castle. But the centerpiece to me is the wishing star, a Disney wishing star up on the very peak of the castle, with little stars sort of spraying out of the bottom of it, and then the lead star up at the top. It's reminiscent of how every movie starts, and also the fireworks that they do, where they have the proprietary shooting star firework that they send out from both sides of the castle. That has me really excited. It's maybe a little on the tiny side, but that has me excited. And I have to say, it matches really, really well with this rendition of the castle. As you may know, the castle has been repainted several different colors over the years, and this current rendition of the castle is the most contrast. It has actual stars and items painted on top of it. This is the most graphic castle that we have. And it makes sense because we live in way more graphic times. People need more contrast, more stimulation. So I think that even though it's modest, these decorations do match the current version of our castle. However, I do really wish that that shooting star was just a little bit bigger to pull it off. That's my only critique. But it does look good with this castle. And fun fact, after the 60th, the diamonds actually put some wear and tear, some deterioration on the tops of the castle. So if you remember, there was a massive reconstruction. On the other side of that reconstruction, we got the newest paint job that we have, the Kim Irvine version of the castle. This is Kim's decision on how it should look, and I think Kim did a really great job. But during that transformation, they actually rebuilt all the spires so that they could have a heavier load-bearing capacity. Therefore, I was expecting maybe a little bit more on the castle now that I know that it has the strength to do more heavy lifting. So yeah, the shooting star, the wishing star, I'll take it. But I do wish it was a little bit bigger, and maybe there was just a slight bit more going on. It does feel pretty understated compared to castle celebrations of the past, which does have me wondering, is it understated to be elegant? That I'm always in favor of, or is it understated to save that money? We'll see. Do they go as hard as they've promised on this 100th celebration? And keep in mind, this 100th celebration is of 100 years of the Walt Disney Corporation. So it's going to be very heavy on celebrating the films and the stories of Disney, which, you know, I normally like for the park shows to be more about the parks, but this time I'm going to give it a pass because the park is where we're celebrating the legacy of Walt Disney and his corporation. And these announcements, just not even a month after D23, they make me wonder, why now? Why didn't they show this concept art back at D23, where at the very end they just casually said, oh yeah, by the way, Disneyland is going to be the home of the 100th celebration. They showed us a little bit of concept art. So even though we are getting two new shows, one in Disneyland, Wondrous, a new nighttime fireworks show, I don't really know what that show is yet. They've been pretty vague on it, but they do promise that it's going to go through 100 different projects inside of Disney. So I'm assuming that it'll be a massive highlight reel of all the different stories that we've seen over 100 years of the corporation. And then there's World of Color 1, which the 1 is to celebrate 100 years, but it's weird because we're used to like iPhone 1 or Mac OS 1. So for it to actually be like the third or fourth version of Wonder Color and to be called 1, it's a little confusing, but we have to keep in mind that the 1 stands for 100. I'm sure both of these shows will be entertaining and exciting. They'll bring out all the nostalgic hits. So if you've gotten sick of seeing all the new projects over the last couple years and you're a die-hard back in the catalog, Disney fan. They're gonna go deep in the catalog this time. So it just won't be like Encanto, Coco, and Frozen. We're gonna see some of the good ones, and hopefully my favorite, Tramp. Speaking of Disney classics, where am I at right now? Well, I'm in front of the very OG Snow White's Wishing Well, the first major project that would allow Disney to have a big success. They used the money from Snow White to bankroll like 5 more years of projects. And actually Bank of America gave them so much money. They're like, we need you to finish Fantasia because we're heavily invested. And right in this area too, speaking of nostalgia acts, have you ever seen the Peter Pan tree? Right here, right on the edge of Snow White's grotto is this, the Peter Pan tree, where you can see Peter and Wendy Darling's initials carved into the tree. And look who's coming. Hey, have you ever seen the Peter Pan tree? Right there, right? With the initials, Peter Pan, Wendy Darling carved. Did you do that? Is that your magic trick? Oh, he's not gonna say anything. Wink, wink. Bye, Jeannie, have a good day. This place is insane. I've got my own little corner. Peter Pan tree, check it out. One more big thing that we're gonna get on Friday, January 27th, that's gonna change this park forever is, I'm gonna call it now, one of the top 5 attractions is rolling into town. If you don't take these cutaways, you're really missing out. One of the best shortcuts in all of Disneyland. Speaking of shortcuts, if you're also not using this outer edge of Fantasyland into the Small World Promenade shortcut, oh, you were missing out. There's like 2 families on this trail right now with me, and over there, it's just wall-to-wall folks. That's okay. That's okay. We like to be around our fellow citizens of Disneyland. At least I do. But I also like a little personal space too. But this trail is going to be your fastest way to get to what is one of my all-time favorite Disney attractions that will be opening up on Friday, January 27th. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is finally coming to Disneyland. And let me tell you, it is my favorite new attraction. I personally think it'll go the long haul and be more nostalgic than Rise of the Resistance, which is also an amazing attraction. But there's something about Mickey and Minnie that feels like a new spin on classic Disney dark rides. So strollers, you're gonna have to go because soon we'll be going down this hill and into Toontown. I don't know if it'll be all of Toontown. They conveniently didn't say that Toontown is reopening. They just said that Mickey and Minnie's Railway is reopening for the anniversary. So real soon, this is gonna be a very, very busy part of the park because at rope drop, there's just gonna be masses of people that go down there. And also, I'm very curious, with Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway coming, what does that mean for fireworks? Because fireworks are lit off right behind me here, which is why Toontown always shuts down around 8 p.m. every night. You can't have one of your top tier e-ticket attractions shut down every night for a few hours unless they do the Rise of the Resistance thing, where, as you know, Rise shuts down early every night for maintenance. So if that attraction has a limited window and you can't ride it past 8 p.m., that is going to add so much more demand to its limited capacity. But it could be like Fantasyland, right? Here's a little fun fact for you and your friends. Which land has 2 rope drops a day? Fantasyland, because it rope drops in the morning when the park opens, and it rope drops 30 minutes after fireworks when it reopens.
Oh, you gonna come?
That's a little fun fact for you. So soon, we'll be strolling on the railroad instead of in this stroller land right here. Doesn't it look like a used car lot, but for strollers instead of cars? So that tunnel's gonna open up. If it does go straight into Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, that's not gonna be a problem. So if that tunnel has to open up to take people only into Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, that's not gonna be a problem because the attraction is literally straight through that tunnel. So if they had to have the far side of the land partitioned off or both sides partitioned off and you just went through like a red carpet style corridor, that's totally feasible if they're gonna wait till spring to fully open up the new Toontown, which I am very, very excited about. Did a complete video breaking down all the details and how Imagineers have gone so far out of the way to make sure that this park is accessible to how every child plays. Really a endearing project when you look at how they've thought about how every kid learns differently, every kid experiences the world differently, and they considered that when they built a playground for every kid who's a citizen of Disneyland. So 2 new fountains on Sleeping Beauty and a new epic e-ticket attraction. I'll take it. I'll take it, and I'll celebrate the 100th anniversary. Can't wait. It'll be here before we know it. And not to mention Wondrous Journeys and World of Color 1, 2 more nighttime celebrations. So once again, Disney has found a way to take the quietest time of the year and turn it into a must-see event, which is why, as of January 8th, I believe that's when the holiday season concludes, you are not able to make a theme park reservation right now. Why they have paused that, I'm trying to figure out, like, what's the logistics on holding back on reservations? Are they gonna do like a special ticket or pass to get in to see all the new stuff first? But this type of control that they have is every reason why I tell you, friends, reservations are here to stay. They are never, ever going away. And if they get rid of them, they're idiots, because the control that it gives them over their business, as much as it sucks for us, the customer, no business person in their rightful mind would ever let that lapse or let that type of control go. So, like them or not, real talk, they're here to stay. So there you go, friends. All the big announcements we got about everything that's happening at the Disneyland Resort Friday, January 27th. You can't make a reservation yet, but put it in your calendar, because you're definitely going to be here when all of these festivities and celebrations kick off and we get a new look at a new Sleeping Beauty's castle for at least a year and a half. Friends, thank you so much for watching today's video. Thank you so much for signing up and becoming a part of Hey Brickey. And a big shout out to all my friends over at club1313.com. You're the ones that inspire me to keep doing this, and all of your positivity and messages over the last couple of days as I've shifted things up only proves to me how we truly are the best of buds, the best of citizens of Disneyland. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you back here real soon. What a way to exit the park. What a way to leave.
They're over 200 years old.
They're awesome.
I like having something older than I am.
I'm starting to know the feeling, Steve. I'm starting to know the feeling. Hey, can I ring the bell?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Here we go. Steve, you're caught up in pumpkin traffic.
Won't be long for the tree, Christmas tree.
Be here before we know it. How's it going, guys? How you guys doing? What a way to end an amazing morning.
There you go.
Yo, exiting the park with just Steve and I on the old fire truck. It just doesn't stop being awesome. And this new format of videos, quite honestly, it's making me fall in love with the park all over again. So thank you so much for supporting this content. I promise I'm going to work 10 times harder to make sure we keep going on all kinds of adventures. And we'll wait till you see what I'm doing tomorrow night. I love it. And I love you for being here.